Good morning, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News, coming to you live from Texas. I've got a wild story here. Jason reveals how being dumped by Kaitlyn Bristowe affected his income. He also shares the date he was dumped, what it was like to move out of her place, and so much more. We have so much to get into. Very juicy stuff. Also, if you're wondering, my truck broke down during my cross-country move. Everything's okay. Things have been fixed. I'll have updates about that on today's afternoon podcast, Bachelor Rush Hour. We are off to Tennessee. The weather's atrocious outside. So cold. I mean, my face is frozen. And like one of the only people in Bachelor Nation, it's not because I got Botox. Okay, let's move it along, folks. No Botox here. Just a frozen 38-year-old face. No, if you turn the lights off, I look 38. Oh, you look so young. It's called lighting, folks. Learn about it. Just shine it into the cracks. How's the crow's feet? I don't know. I got LEDs on it. Okay, here we go. Let's play. I got about 5 clips for you. We're going to talk about his moving, healthy boundaries. You know, obviously, I don't think he mentions Kaitlyn's name. Maybe he does. And he talks about Kaitlyn Bristowe having a hold on the Bachelor show, and that may be a reason why he'll never, he had his guard down here, folks. And of course, he's with his good Canadian friend here, who's able to do a very good job with this interview. I absolutely love them together. Let's go to the 14:25 mark. Have a listen.
You know, David, I think one of the interesting things is I put myself in a tough position when I think about just living in Kaitlyn's house and not having any form of like real estate or backup plan, and it did create quite a scramble. Those are things you don't plan for, but I think about the fact that I didn't have any. I've invested in real estate, but I don't even have real estate. So the idea of like, if things don't work out, I'm now technically homeless, and I have to get a house that can work for dogs, my professional life, and everything else. I think about 2023. That was a misstep. I've talked a lot about getting real estate, Airbnbs, investing in a studio office space, and I haven't done it. And if I did that, I would have had a little bit of a buffer. And because I didn't do it, when shit hit the wall, it collapsed on me. Like,
there it is. When shit hit the wall, he says basically I was paying rent towards Kaitlyn Bristowe's investments. Kaitlyn Bristowe probably doubled her income. Again, smart on her, but for him, a little bit of a blind spot here. So then he has to move out of the house he was essentially renting. Have a listen.
I moved myself. Okay. There was something about the idea, especially moving out of significant other's house. I wanted to, it sounds bizarre, but I really wanted to like feel that and remember it. Moving out was really really tough, especially when you find old things, notes, things like that. But I'm glad I did it.
Brutal.
And I'll never again move out of anywhere by myself, but like I'll never forget that, and I think that will help me as I move forward. And I also had best buddy Hawk come in. Mm-hmm. He came and helped me move once, and then John Gurney came and helped me move, and then Tanner Adams is a local in Nashville that used to do some work with us, and he helped me move. So other than that, it was all me. And then when I moved into the new house, Peggy Mort, Tom Mort, and my mom and dad came in, and they really helped out too.
All right, so he said, the sentimental aspects of moving out were very tough, but cathartic, and when pressed on whether or not he hired a moving service, he said he did it all by himself. Every time I move, I say, next time I'm hiring a moving service, and then you see how much money it costs, and you're like, all right, give me the dang bucks. Moving sucks. You can hear it in my voice. I'm in the middle of it, especially when you're broken down with Arby's juice stained on your leg because you can't get a healthy meal because you're in Oklahoma in a food desert. How does anybody stay in shape in Oklahoma? It's beyond me. All right, anyway, let's continue.
I got, through learning lessons, I had learned the ability to create healthy boundaries for myself.
What does that mean?
I got good at that, especially in the fall.
Whoa. Okay, he doesn't elaborate, so we're going to speculate. When they don't elaborate, we speculate. that should be a merch shirt. By the way, you can check out my merch shirts. They are here. Dave Neal, Some Podcaster. If you want to be a fan of a Some Podcaster, which, by the way, I'd love to be on Jason Tartick's podcast. I'd share all the numbers of my channel. I'm just not famous enough yet. I'm not big enough. You guys can keep reaching out to him. It's not going to happen. Trust me. Hey, prove me wrong, Jason. Let's go. I'm moving to Tennessee, for God's sake. Let's talk. Whatever. Okay, so anyway, Because I love talking about numbers, and I love talking about the idea of how inspiring it can be when someone like Jason makes $1 million plus talking to a microphone. I mean, sure, he went on The Bachelor and developed a big following, but not everyone who goes on The Bachelor does with the following what he does. Now, he was engaged to one of the biggest Bachelor contestants of all time. That will help boost your following, but he had it in his bones the whole time. So let's go to the part where he talked about would he go on the show or not. It's very interesting. I don't think he means these comments with any sort of nasty punch, but I could see Us Weekly picking them up and then Kaitlyn reading the headlines and getting upset. But I think when asked whether or not he would be on The Bachelor, he doesn't even think he would have a shot. I think he's completely wrong. I think they would hire him in a heartbeat.
LO5. Jason, are there talks for you to be the next Bachelor? If so, would you do it? It's not for me, Jay. I am the voice of the viewer here. I'm just relaying what the people want here. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Putting you in the hot seat.
I've seen some people like in my comments say that, like on posts and stuff. It's all like super, super kind of everyone that says that. That's nice. I think I'm probably too old. I think for 35 for a Bachelor, I feel like is kind of old.
No, not at all.
I also think that
not at all. Because then they could get women from more in a more stable age range. No offense to the 22-year-olds out there who are like, I want to find love. No, you don't, Samantha. No, you don't. And then cue the comment sections. I found love when I was 14. We've been married for 17 years. It's like, yeah, you live in Oklahoma. You eat at an Arby's. No offense to Oklahoma or Arby's.
I don't think I'm gonna ever have to worry about that predicament because I believe my ex kind of has a hold on that franchise.
Whoa.
I don't know. Well, I guess time will tell. I don't know if the franchise has any interest in ever knocking on my door for anything.
He's playing hard to get, folks. I don't know if they would want me. Let me tell you something. You're probably 2 or 3 down the list after Tyler Cameron. Trust me, Jason Tartick, people would love you. You're super successful. Most people that go on the show, no offense, are not that successful when they're on the show. They find their success afterwards. So no offense to Joey out there. I mean, he's hitting tennis balls for a living. We love tennis balls, but he's not raking in the dough yet. We love Joey. But Jason here, really, I mean, women would go crazy for him. And I think that would draw some good attention to the show. What do you guys think? I think that would be interesting. Okay, let's go to what y'all came for, the money making. This is where Jason talks about the money. And again, I suggest listening or watching to the whole episode. It's super fascinating. I'm catching up on a bunch of episodes across my road trip here. But here's where he talks about how much money he made this year and also the financial loss he took because of the breakup.
Did you make more in 2023 than you did in 2022?
I'm having a good hair day, just so you know.
I think if you look at overall how much I earned, it might have been more because of investment income this year. But I made less. You heard all those social media numbers, right? They're all up. I made less on social media, like social media speaking, anything like media related, right?
And by the way, I did too. I made probably 15 to 20% less on YouTube. Ad rates were down in 2023. I think people were worried the economy was going to be hitting a recession. It looks like some of that's rebounding right now. But yeah, last year was a tough year for a lot of people on YouTube. So I'm imagining it was the same for Instagram and podcasting.
Less this year, though.
Why do you think that is? Is that you, or is that the trend in those platforms, you think?
I think I would guess. Here's what I would suspect. Okay, let's get into it.
Please get into it. We're out of time.
Last year I did around 1.2 million in this category.
Right? Oh my gosh, 1.2 million.
It'll be, and I'm still waiting. Right, it's January. It's mid-January, so we get all of our reports for our accountants.
Let me tell you something. If he became the Bachelor, I'm not saying women are money hungry. I'm just saying he's a good-looking dude. He's charming, and he's making 1.2 million a year. I'm married, but get it off. If I wasn't so bloated from that Arby's I ate, I would get this ring off and marry Jason just for this podcasting duo we would have.
Right? They'll take projections for what taxes should be January 15th, but I don't have.
All right, moving on.
Here's why I think it's down. if you drill down. Okay, I'm getting into personal stuff here, but I'm getting into facts.
Get into it.
Explains the business case.
I love he goes, I'm getting into personal stuff. Kaitlyn, don't get mad at me. These are facts. Okay. This is where the breakup starts to get interesting, because we're starting to put a little picture together of what happened.
This is some of the issue when you have revenue being generated from things that you're doing personally, such as social media, right?
Yeah.
So the exact date, it was July 8th that Kaitlyn broke up with me.
This is the first we learn of this. This is the first we've learned that he was dumped on July 8th. Until then, we thought it was kind of mutual.
We announced it. I believe we announced it. Let me just look so you don't screw this up.
All right, so then they talk
I think it
about
was
announcing it about a
August
month,
6th,
Early
I wanna
August.
say.
Yeah.
a month later.
Yep.
It was early August, August 6th. I can look at the post super quick here.
That's healthy.
Just have facts.
Give it
while we're at
time.
So it was August 6th. So, okay. Breakup July 8th. August 6th is the announcement. And then I stayed off social media for a few weeks. And then after that, you're like very, very softly getting into social media.
Can you believe it's been 5 months since they broke up? Time flies. Yeah. So, you can't be doing teeth whitening. We talked about this on the podcast. You can't be doing teeth whitening. Hey, 15% off my code, when you're just crying the whole time.
Any deal that I had in July or August or September, even for that matter, October, I was like, I'm either not going to do them or push them, right? I'm not selling a mattress when I'm going through what I'm going through right now.
Oh, but you could. I mean, listen, hey, ever get dumped by your fiance and have to move out? Use my coupon code for a new mattress.
One, perception, awful. And two, I don't, like in my heart, I'm like, no, I'd rather not make money. So as a result of that, lost a couple deals. For sure, they didn't want to deal with the push. There was time sensitivity. And so I was like, all right, take the money off the table. I'm not going to do those. Or they got very pushed. So, I was posting these ads in maybe late October, November, December. I think that's more of the reason, because the social media in our agency, the social media influencing space and monetization of it is growing significantly. Okay. My followings grew, my engagement grew. So, and then my pipeline's up big. So that is how I would describe it.
Okay. That's a very, very good answer. You really got in the weeds there, provided some good advice. Took some of the questions I had. Aubrey Dade said, how has the breakup impacted business financially? Has it given you any opportunities as to what you're expecting? Have you noticed a shift in any type of deals? I think you touched on it there. I think the question...
I could touch on that, though,
ahead.
just a little bit more.
Touch, please.
I think it's a good question.
Touch on it.
I was expecting... I don't know. I was expecting...
Mass exodus?
It to get... I was expecting it to get blasted. Just like...
Followers
I
down.
figured I would lose, like, every follower. Yeah. Oh, I thought I would lose every follower. I thought business would be, like, just completely blow up. Maybe because I'm a little bit of a pessimist, but it didn't, right? Like everything stayed the same, grew, got engaged. Deal flow's been great. So yeah, I expected it to just be an absolute disaster, but it hasn't been, which is always
Love
nice.
that. As we look forward to 2024, Jay, I know you're big
All right, so then anyway, you can go check out the whole episode. Fantastic stuff. We always love how brave it is for them to talk about finances. God knows when you talk about finances, people get upset. Oh, you bought an electric car, you jackass. Oh, you're finally buying a house in your late 30s? Piece of shit. You know what I mean? People will use money against you. You got your dog those vet bills? You pulled his teeth out and got his teeth cleaned? How dare you do that, you son of a rascal? Either way, if you want to buy one of our podcast merchandise, proud fan of Dave Neal, some podcaster, you can go check that out. Link below. All right, we'll be back with more content right after this.